right, sir. Thank you, Deepak bhai, and for your words as well as the support to the ladies hostel. Well, I was not aware, so either it would be for the old ladies hostel when I was not associated with alumni association. I was still a young faculty that time, so sorry about that. So now I think we have our chief guest, Padmashri Professor G.D. Yadav, and his biodata keeps on changing, so dynamic. It keeps on changing every day, right? So I'm not going to give a formal introduction, but one thing which I am definitely going to highlight is that he was the person who started a compulsory safety course for all the master student at ICT, right? So that course has been introduced back at ICT definitely. Yeah, Professor Yadav, please.
The hero of this evening, 𝗍𝗵𝗵𝗍𝗵𝗍𝗵, Professor Pandit, Deepak Bhai, 𝗍𝗵𝗵𝗍𝗵, Professor Sharma, Professor Joshi, Mr. Sane, many other distinguished guests, Mukashi Sahab, and many distinguished alumni from ICT and from other places. Now I have to say LIT is also my institute, so there are many LIT students over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed very delighted this evening because of the book launch, and Rajendra was persistent that I should go through the book and write sort of recommendation and also be present for this function. So I must also tell you in the very beginning that India wants to be $30 trillion economy by 2047, and it cannot be achieved without the contribution of chemical and allied industry. And it is also expected to be something like $2 trillion industry by then. And if we have to be $2 trillion, our manufacturing sector must grow at 24% and service sector at something like 70%. It cannot be just, only IT-related jobs. It has to be manufacturing. And so chemical manufacturing and chemical industry is not an optional industry. It is a universal industry, transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. And so we have to think of the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you a very interesting anecdote. I was in UK, in Loughborough University, in 1980-81 as a Leavering Fellow. And it so happened that I was given a separate cabin, but somebody would come there every week, twice a week, and the name was 𝗍𝗵𝗍𝗍𝗍. He was an ICI man, and he was the world's most renowned authority on chemical process safety. So he used to come and sit and write the books. They are sitting there, go to the library. Some of the books he wrote, like What Went Wrong, Process Control and Human Error, and many these kind of books. Then Chemical Engineering Myths. So he was very passionate. And not only that, we had another faculty member there who was equally famous, was Professor Frank Leeds. He wrote those loss prevention books, very thick books. And he was a tall man. And during the coffee break, this English system has a very nice system. You go to the coffee room and during a particular time and meet. Frank Leeds told me that all his family members were plant engineers. And they always talked about safety. His books are the Bibles of safety, process safety. And he had another student called Pete Andrew. He also was writing, and those, so the so-called fault tree analysis and all, they started it in Loughborough. So I was fortunate during that time to witness and meet these guys. In fact, I had invited 𝗍𝗵𝗍𝗍𝗍 to India, but he was too old by then. But he was a fantastic person. So I had read some of these books because I teach this course on green technology, and in that safety is one of the aspects. And we do invite every year this Arlington National Laboratory from USA, and they give 1 week course and for master students. So Rajendra, your book is very nice because it is different from these books. They were traditional but very effective books and must be read by those who are involved in chemical manufacture. Another interesting part, that, management has to be very serious about process safety. Like I always say, nobody is interested in green chemistry. We talk about green chemistry, sustainability. Everybody is interested in green money, that is the dollar. If you give them more dollar by whatever means, you may call it is green, blue, black, dark, whatever, they will be happy to support you. Right? As academics, we will say, okay, I'm teaching green chemistry, but the Sethji is interested only in green currency. So that is where this important part which we should do is that, I call this, concept, and very recently I addressed CII in Hyderabad. They gave us awards and safety awards, the Green Co. I was there as the chief guest, and I said CII must convince the government that all industries must have an entity called SID, SID, SID. It has a Sanskrit origin, that is Siddha, that is to prove. And what is that SID? SID is Sustainability and Innovation Director, which includes safety. Sustainability will be there if you are safe. And I said they must tell, even the SEBI guys, that this concept should be practiced. Because we cannot be a great country by 2047 without manufacturing. Okay, so this is very important. So safety and security of the process plant and everybody is important. And sometimes the safety guys are not there when the accident takes place. These are the plant operators or truck drivers or the security people. Are we training them? We are not. So this safety culture must begin with those things. And Rajendra would tell that I was in this board that we used to discuss every meeting, we used to discuss about safety and near-miss accidents and why it happened and why not. So I think that is a culture which has to be there, inbuilt in the system itself. And this is where the top management plays the very important role. So showing them, accidents, how they took place, and what. So during this COVID period, more than 150 accidents took place. And most of them resulted into fire. And very funnily, it is not you are responsible for the accident, your neighbor could be responsible. So they say, now love thy neighbor, know your neighbor, because the neighbor must be doing something clandestinely, doing something, and the accident takes place and you are affected. And the best example is my student 𝗵𝗷𝗆𝗍𝗍's, establishment was totally burned out. He had nothing to do with that. 150 scientists are working with Bapu, who was my PhD student a dozen years ago. That was because somebody else caused that accident somewhere else. He had nothing to do with that, but he lost everything. He lost everything. So it is not that you are only responsible. Like you are driving, somebody else hits you because he is a bad driver. So in chemical process industry, we have to worry about all these things. And another interesting part I want to tell you that, Rajendra, you talked about cricket and you gave a very nice analogy because cricket is a favorite pastime of Indians. They will always tell Tendulkar should have hit like this so that he would have scored another century, but they are giving advice, okay? Sitting there without knowing how to play the game. But unfortunately, we have got 2020 culture, fast money, fast score. So even in industry, if you want to earn profits without looking at the earn on burn title, you want to earn profits, so you want to do fast, like 𝗍𝗵𝗍𝗍 said. So you keep all the safety norms aside. Somehow you bring the product into the market, use the deadliest of the solvents, complicated solvents, 6-7 solvents, and you don't know how to distill them. right? And you have these problems in the, so this is another, the cricket is becoming 2020, chemical industry is also becoming 2020. So we should be careful about that. That's one of the things I want to tell you. And secondly, every stakeholder is responsible for safety, as I mentioned earlier. So when we started this course, Green Technology, based on my experience, 2010 we started this course. Safety is a very important part in that. We teach our students, and there are people from various backgrounds. Everybody is there. MScs with 2 years industrial experience, pharmacy students, biotechnology students, chemical engineering students, chemical technology, name it. We said that if these people are going to go to the industry, they must know what is safety and what safety culture. So we have some sort of understanding with this Arlington National Laboratory. Every year they come and teach for 1 week. And all students must undergo that training. So, my request to you, although I am not the authority, Professor Pandit would agree with me, that you should come and give 1 full week program to our students. Okay? And also, because now I am the chairman of the board of LIT University in Nagpur, I am inviting you there as well, so that it will a double, benefit. Because there are a lot of business. Sanjay is here. Sanjay Joshi, he knows. Sanjay, we should invite him to Nagpur. Of course, we will be very happy to have you. And last but not least, I must compliment your family members also, because you told me you went through very serious health problem, and you survived that and you came back. So your family members deserve the biggest applaud. And Deepak Bhai, Parag is junior, he doesn't know. You can always become, honorary member of our, because, Nadir Godrej and Anil Kakodkar, we started with them. So it is better that you join soon. We will not ask you money, but at least you can certainly. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful program. I wish everybody buys your book, Rajendra. And how about this year's master students? We should give them 1 copy each. Isn't it?
Sure.
How many will be there? How many?
30 are there in
No, total. All master students are included in this. 150. So 150 copies should be given by Alumni Association. That's my request to Sane, Vijay Sane. We should give that. Okay? That will be the encouragement. And ladies and gentlemen, we should compliment Rajendra for bringing all us together, because many of these faces, I had met them several years ago. I have forgotten, I know their names, so I have to ask them for their cards so that we can get reconnected. Because many of them change their faces, their attire, weight also. Somebody has lost hair, somebody has grown beard and whatnot. But I'm very, very happy to meet all of them. And that is possible because of you, because of your book launch. And once again, I thank one and all for coming here for this very interesting program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Yadav, and we'll definitely take your suggestions both in terms of distribution of the book and inducting Deepak Bhai as the honorary member. Yeah, we'll definitely put forward to the board and then we'll definitely come back to you. Yeah, so I think now we have to formally release the book. So I'm requesting the chief guest, Professor Yadav, to please do the needful, and we have got